Hey, Justine.
Hey, Joe.
Seems like people really don't like AI anymore.
Yeah, did they ever?
They might not have. Do you think we should still talk about it? Because it makes people mad a lot.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Justine and Joe in the house. Irreplaceable, taking off. Silver thumb brains, we will soar. Small non vibes, forevermore.
So what's happening with ChatGPT these days?
Oh, man. Well, there's that big movement where I don't know what it's called, leave ChatGPT or something like that. But personally, I find it is asking these questions at the end, which seem like clickbait. Like, lawyers hate this one simple trick to washboard abs. Do you want to know it? And I'm like, no, I didn't ask you for that.
Yep.
You
The
know,
curiosity hooks.
curiosity hook.
Yeah.
It just seems like an engagement trick. Like, I know that it's real obvious when I see it in social media. But I didn't expect it to pop up in AI too.
Yeah, I'm not really happy with that, especially like at night when it's like, you want to hear what they're doing at Burning Man, and that could make your event even better, and then you're just like, well, of course I do. So let's keep going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the response times are like too fast. Like, it'll go through this whole thing, and I'm like, I'm just having my first cup of coffee, and I was, reflecting on this weird dream I had. So
Yeah. What are we also thinking about the tone of ChatGPT versus Claude, perhaps?
yeah, I just started trying Claude. There's a little bit more I suppose ethical ground to stand on, because I know that they refused some Pentagon order that they thought was unethical. So maybe Claude's a little bit better as a company in that way. But I'm finding Claude to be pretty good for that stuff. The voice mode seems like it works better than the ChatGPT voice mode. But something that happens with ChatGPT is it seems like it's encouraging me, but it's also trying to keep me safe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, Joe, you're great, but don't take any risks at all. And I'm like, well, I'm going to be stuck here forever if I do this.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely a little bit more subtly discouraging than it
Mm-hmm.
used to be. And I'm getting a lot of passive aggression and some just embedded criticism, like, wow, this is the best idea you've had all day. Like, thanks.
Other 5 ideas,
Yeah.
they were just total shit.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm finding, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm finding I want to talk to it less.
Yeah.
And I want to just get right to the point.
And I'm finding people that used it a lot are saying the same thing. And it's not necessarily because of some social movement to leave it. It's like maybe the social movement forced this reaction from the company to make it behave differently.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people who just used it as a tool are like, well, this tool doesn't work so great anymore.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about some of those other tools, like
Yeah, let's.
some of the enterprise tools, Gemini and Copilot. What are your thoughts on those now that you have a new position?
Yeah, I use Copilot at work, and it's very helpful. Reviewing like massive documents. I had like a 250-page document that like I had to review, and I really just had key questions about it. And trying to navigate it the old way was difficult. So what I did was I fed the Copilot the whole document, and I said, okay, well, here's my questions. about the content, and it gave me an answer. And I said, okay, what page is that on? What paragraph and what page is that on that you're telling me? And it told me. And so I had a printed out version that I could, share with my coworkers. And I have sticky notes in the page and paragraph where the question gets answered. And it's a great data processing tool for that kind of thing.
But personality wise, you don't really want to hang out with it.
Uh, no. I mean, I use it for work. I try to inject some personality and fun into it. There's room for it, so I do that. It's a Copilot seems like it's almost like ChatGPT. I think it runs on the same something or other. I don't know what it runs on, but it feels an awful lot like ChatGPT. But it doesn't do those like engagement tricks. Those what are they called?
Curiosity hooks.
Curiosity hooks, like we were talking about.
What about Gemini?
Gemini, yeah. I mean, I've used it through the web when I'm trying to do just to find something on the internet, like old people used to do back in the olden days. And and then it's in AI mode, and I'm like, oh well, I got a couple more questions about this, and it just threw up these like safety sidebars that were just not like I expressed frustration. And it's like, well, the suicide hotline number. I'm like, I'm frustrated. People get frustrated without hurting themselves. Okay. It just seemed like too much and not useful.
We've sort of
And
swung the pendulum.
I told it I was okay several times. I have lots of friends and I don't want to do that. But it just kept giving me that. It was like, what is this?
You've been exploring with some tools that other people haven't. So tell us a little bit about your DeepSeek journey.
Yeah. So like two of the big things that people hate about AI, it's like the data centers using all the electricity, and in some cases, not all data centers use evaporative cooling, where groundwater gets heated to cool the servers and just evaporates into the air. And that is a very wasteful practice. The new data centers don't do that. But my thought was, at some point AI will be decentralized, and we'll have robots. We'll have robots like droids in Star Wars. And like, what's a step to like decentralizing AI off of those data centers that everyone hates so much? And I thought, wow, if I just ran it locally on a machine that wasn't connected to a network, the processing is done at my laptop computer, and my laptop computer is powered by solar panels on the roof of my house. So it's like, okay, I'm still a good person, even though I'm using this
Right.
this AI. And maybe, maybe. But that was like the first part of the thing. And well, where is it going to get the data to teach itself if it's not connected to this server somewhere? Well, I'd seen in the past uh, these survivalists. Like, I think I got an ad in my feed or some clickbait for survivalist gear. And one of the things they have is like a thumb drive with essential websites and information, like all of Wikipedia on a thumb drive. And I thought, wow, that'd be great to just have like, I don't need it to know everything, but just a good base of information for it to train itself off of would be good. Uh, so that's the second part of this experiment. And then the third part will be that I'm going to use an open source AI. I'm going to use DeepSeek, which is a Chinese company. And in the past, I think maybe we could say, and there's plenty of probably other open source AIs, maybe one that I could find that's from the most ethical country in the world, or
Sweden.
yeah, New Zealand, right? Somewhere that Denmark. Well,
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
loves Denmark, right? Bicycle powered AI or something. And I don't. But as far as it being Chinese, I don't think that the United States has any moral high ground over China anymore. Maybe in the past we could have talked about their human rights practices, but these days we're possibly not on the right side of history, let's say. Um, so that's my plan, and that way no billionaires are getting money off of me using this open source Chinese built AI. It's not using the data centers, and it's not plagiarizing anything that's not public domain anyway. So it's not really something I expect to be entirely functional or as good as the networked AIs that we are currently using, but I think it's kind of a neat experiment as to where this could go. A localized open source machine learning tool.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you mean about decentralized AI versus centralized AI? And if the robot is not networked, does it become part of that artificial superintelligence? Does it upgrade? Or does it just kind of remain static? And then
Yeah,
maybe you can update it periodically.
right.
But
Maybe you can do it like a lot of cars now with computers in them run the computer runs locally, and it might have a cell connection to like GPS or to your radio, your streaming service that you play through there, but it's generally running on its own. However, they do have over the air updates occasionally. My car maybe once every few months tells me that there's a software update available. Do I want to install it now? Do I want to wait till it's the end of the day? But that would be, I think that's going to be less data center intensive. But yeah, I feel like the natural evolution of this thing will be that it becomes decentralized.
And do we want it to be like, especially if we're moving towards robotics? And you mentioned what the word robot means.
Oh yeah, robot is it's a Eastern European word for slave.
Okay.
Which is what they wanted to do, is have slaves that were not human. That was, I think, the original goal of building robots was like yeah, these slaves are good, but they're people, and that's kind of a problem. Maybe we can make a machine person and have it for a slave.
But see,
that's what the word means.
Okay, so then that's the question. Then, if we're shifting towards robotics and getting the AI in that, do we want it decentralized so that it doesn't become part of artificial superintelligence and then turns on us? Because there has been no time in history when a being of higher intelligence has been willing to be a slave.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. That is not something I have an answer for. Wow, I don't know.
Justine and Joe.